welcome back. So here's a question for you. Are you in touch with your spirit? Is this your season for healing? You are in the right place because today I have for you Amy Kaufman. My name is Dacquino. Amy, you are ready to talk to us about being in touch with our spiritual being. Mm-hmm. Who are you? What do you do? And why, Amy, do you do it?
Well, I'm a Reiki practitioner, Reiki master.
Okay. Stop. Mm-hmm. Reiki.
Yes.
What exactly is Reiki?
Reiki is an energy healing. It's a way of healing people emotionally, also physically, through touch. And that's what I do. And my body will heat up, my hands will heat up, and I place my hands on the client.
So you are a healer?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's cool. Now, I have to tell you that I was in the Jefferson Valley Mall.
Yes.
And while I'm in the mall, I'm looking over and I'm seeing this woman who is absolutely making contact with the people around her. And I was drawn to you, Amy. I looked and I said, God, there's something spiritual about her. And I came over to you and said, Amy, how would you like to be on a television show? And it was instantaneous.
Yes.
I actually felt your vibes. And you were making contact with these people. You were talking to them about what they need to know.
Right.
So as a Reiki master, you bring people in contact with their being.
Yes.
When did this all start for you?
This was a path and a calling, I would say.
A calling.
Yeah, because I think that they're intertwined. The path led to my calling to be a healer. So it just started a long time ago, something that was always within me, but that was never truly
Even
developed.
as a young girl?
I would say later on, but it just sort of evolved. And that's
And you
how,
knew. There was something inside of you
absolutely.
that knew that this was your mission in life.
I knew that I was meant to heal people and help people in many ways.
In Emails to a Paranormal and in the Hudson River Valley,
Right.
I had the opportunity of meeting paranormals.
Okay.
And I had an opportunity of meeting people who were pretty much in touch with who they were.
Right.
Now, I don't consider myself a healer. I am a writer by all means. But do I feel some kind of urge to tell the story? Absolutely. So I don't know if that's so much a calling as it is a need to say what I feel.
Right.
Which is, I know what you do. So when did it first start? You were like in your 20s maybe?
When I was in my 20s, I saw a healer myself. And
so
never
you
thinking
went to a healer.
I had gone to a healer.
And after your experience with the healer, you said, I can do this?
No, I left it. I got married, I had children, and I think it really developed after having children. And about 10 years ago,
having children can do that to you.
definitely changed.
Yeah.
But that's what started my path. I knew that I could do more. And you're a caretaker. When you're taking care of a husband and children and a dog, you're a natural caretaker.
Yes.
And it just evolved from there, that I could do more than take care of those people that I love, other people that I meet, that I know, that come my way.
It's amazing to see the effect you can have on other people, the positive effect.
Yeah.
Sometimes one smile at the right time in the right place could change a person's entire day.
Yes.
You know, when I was teaching, one of the things that I was teaching teachers in my last 5 years, and we talked about how children don't only live in school.
Right,
That
absolutely.
there's domains, and there's the personal domain, the community domain, the family domain, and there's all these things that have to come together.
Yes.
And sometimes we know a person in one domain, but we don't realize the kid who comes to school after sitting up all night with his grandmother who was dying,
Right.
or his parents who were fighting furiously because of a divorce, or financial problems, the homeless kid who you have no idea,
Yeah.
or the very wealthy kid who is having a hard time because his parents aren't there. They're too busy
Right.
trying to keep the wealth that they have. And that there's so many other issues going on in other people's lives
Yeah.
that we don't see the whole person.
The whole person, exactly.
And that's what you do. You try to bring people together with the whole person inside of them.
I try to integrate the whole thing, absolutely, because you're right. You know one facet of somebody, but you don't know their outside life, their home life, their work life, because we're all multifaceted.
Yeah, that's true. And sometimes we don't know what those other multifacets are.
Right, right.
Now, do you use cards or crystal balls? Or
No, I do use crystals. I do use
Oh, you do
stones.
use
Yes, I
crystals.
do use crystals
Okay.
and stones.
Yeah.
I don't use cards. I'm not a card reader.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
And it wasn't until recently that I realized that there's so many different kinds of healers.
Yes.
And just like a physician, you have tools.
Right.
So you work with them, and I imagine that the thing you work with most is their inner feelings.
Yes, absolutely.
To get them in touch with who they are. Interesting. So, where do you begin when you meet someone? Is it the vibes that you get, or
Well, I'll start with a conversation.
Conversation.
And automatically I want to know what brought you to see me.
Yep.
And sometimes, people say things or nothing, or just, oh, I want to experience it, or they are going through some sort of issue. And then when I begin working on them, it's really my energy that I'm bringing. The stones are crystals that are things that I use, but it's really my energy.
no,
And
there's energy in these crystals?
yes, that I put in them. But
Yeah.
it's really my own self as
So
well.
it's your energy through these
Yes,
crystals.
yes. And
What is the purpose? I mean, what exactly do the crystals do?
they help aid in energy. They really do.
Because we are actually energy, right?
Yes, yes.
So it channels the energy?
It does. It helps. It assists me in my work. And what I do is when my hands are on somebody, I become intuitive and I can feel
And you actually
somebody.
put your hands
Yes,
on people
yes,
so you
it's a
can
touch.
connect the energies. And that's a big part of it.
Not all practitioners touch, but I believe in touch. I
Okay.
think that it's
Yeah,
very
and
important.
again, not all practitioners are the same either.
Exactly.
Each have their own ways, his or her own way
Yeah.
of doing something.
Right.
So you do touch, and then that touch, once that energy connects, it connects you to the person's psyche, or
Connects to their emotions is what
their
it's. So if I'm touching, I will ask them, is this what's happening? Or are you feeling this? Do you feel something? And many times, all the time.
So you feel their anguish,
Yes,
you
I
feel
feel-
their stress.
Absolutely.
Wow.
People will be
Little
relaxed.
spooky, but
And
good.
it's all good. It's
Yeah,
all good.
all
It's
good.
all releasing.
Yep.
It's wonderful.
So you now, how many sessions does it take to be able to contact a person? Could you do that right away? I mean, are some of them like easier than others?
When people come to me, that means they're receptive and they're open to healing.
Right.
I have
Just
had-
the fact that they came to you means that
They want this. They want
Yes.
that help. I mean, I believe that everybody could use assistance, but not everybody's open to this kind of modality.
Yeah.
So
And there's people who do not believe.
right, right. And those people wouldn't come to see me.
Yeah.
And those people also, if they did come to see me, would put up a block, and I feel
Yeah.
that as well.
Yeah. Oh, and you can feel those
Absolutely,
blocks. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So you kind of talk out their stress.
Right, right.
Now,
Talk and
I have
touch.
to tell you that we were at the coffee shop, and a person came up to you, someone who knew you,
Yes.
and saw your book, and said, "Oh my God, I read that every day." I was amazed. Hold up your book. This is called Seasons of the Soul. Tell me what the pages of Seasons of the Soul are all about. What is this book you wrote?
It's a book of inspirational quotes. I started writing this
Oh.
3 years ago. Just on a whim, I had done a Reiki workshop, and I was new to Facebook. I didn't really do much on Facebook, and I thought after this workshop, I'm going to put a quote. It was right around Valentine's Day, and I just thought, let me just do it. And I was a little afraid of Facebook, but I put the quote, I pressed that post button, and there it went.
Yeah.
And
I'm not surprised that you're not a big Facebook person because Facebook isn't touching. You're a touch person. But it's a good place, I suppose, to contact people and to reach out and know that they're in need of anti-stress.
But since that day, 3 years ago, I have posted 1,158 quotes because I've consistently done them every single day.
Can you share some of those quotes that you think are
Sure.
powerful quotes?
You just
Love it.
randomly open up.
Good. Cool.
Sometimes all we want is a loving ear, no advice or an opinion.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes all we want is a loving ear. No advice, no opinion. That's wonderful.
And
That's
it's,
wonderful.
it rings true with so many people.
And there is time. I tell my daughter when she's having trouble with the kids, I say, don't yell back. Just listen. Well, and sometimes they just have to say
Right.
what it is they have to say. And that's important. That's hard for me because
It's hard for everybody.
I have the teacher in me for all these years, and I always feel like I have to give the lesson.
Right.
And so many times it's better to just let the person talk
Yes.
and let them talk it out. Very much the way I write. Many of my stories,
Right.
they talk to me. I don't write them. They tell me what needs to be there.
Yes.
And I sit there and I let the story dictate to me. And with some of my writers, they try so hard to write the story. And it's hard for them to understand that you have to let the story write itself. And the same way when you're talking with someone. If you really want to know what's inside them,
Yes.
give them a chance. Let them talk it out. And all you are is a sounding board.
Right. Exactly.
And you shake your head yes or no. I remember when I went to a training
Okay.
for teaching one time, and that's what they taught us. They said, here's what you do. When a kid comes to you and he says, I'm having trouble with all of my friends because they pick on me, your answer is, so you're having trouble with your friends who pick on you?
Yes.
And then they
And then they'll say,
and then they go on, and all you're doing is repeating exactly what they say, so that it opens the door for them to keep on talking and to talk out their things. And by the time they're done, they've solved their own problem, basically.
Yes. Yes.
Which is, it works. It really does work.
I mean, it's the same with the quotes. The quotes, although I do write them, it comes through experiences, something that has happened to me.
No, some of these quotes are yours.
They're all mine.
They're all yours.
They're all mine.
Oh my! Give me another one.
Okay.
I like this.
Let's see. Emulate those with a big heart, not a big head.
What was?
Emulate those with a big heart, not a big head.
Oh, nice. Emulate those with a big heart, not a big head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I understand that. And this morning we went to a breakfast
Right.
with a place filled with people with big hearts. People who
Yes.
do all kinds of volunteer work, spend hours and hours and hours. Something like the crew here at Comcast, who come faithfully every week, and they listen and they do what they have to do, and they do it because they have passion.
Right.
That's what this show is all about.
Yeah.
People and their passion. It almost doesn't matter what the passion is. As long as it's something that drives you, wakes you up in
Right.
the morning,
Right.
makes you want to stay awake until
Yes.
it's time to go to bed, and get up in the morning ready to do it again.
Yes.
There's so many people who aren't there.
No,
They
there
lose
aren't.
the drive, they lose the passion, and then they need Amy Kaufman.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what I try to do with these quotes is, I know that people are always having a hard time. Everybody has their own issues. We all have struggles. So by posting them
And
on
heartache
Facebook,
and headache
yes,
and trouble and joys. I mean, life is a roller coaster.
absolutely it is.
Some days I'm like, yes. And other days I'm like, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I even here?
Yeah, yeah.
It gets frustrating. And I do know, I'm happy to say that I've never been in that for a long time.
Right.
But man, I know people who have,
Yes, yeah.
who just can't
Struggle.
get off the bottom, and they do need someone like you to help them find the season
Yes.
of their soul, to find that point in their life
Right.
where they could say, yes, it is worth it. Yes, I'm worth it, and it is good to be alive.
Absolutely. And just if I could help anybody just through a quote, and I know that I have because I will get comments that say, I really needed this today. Thank
Yeah.
you for your help. This really helped me through my day. So I know that I am helping people. And it seems like something small,
Yeah.
but it's not.
People who have not been depressed
Yeah.
can't understand how painful depression can be.
Yes.
I mean, I said I've never had a long depression. Doesn't mean I haven't been depressed.
Right.
There have been some days when I just,
It's tough.
it's like enough. You know, in Italian the word is basta.
Yes.
You know, there's days that
Enough.
are basta. You know, enough. I've had it. I just don't want this anymore.
Right.
Every time I turn around, there's another problem.
Right.
This one's dying and that one's dying and a little kid. And then you turn on the TV and it's filled with news of disasters. People who have gathered things their entire lives and then lose it in a moment.
Yes.
Sometimes you just want to give up. And you can't. You can't ever. What you need to do is go to a Reiki master and go to someone who is listening.
Yes.
Give me another quote.
Okay.
I like this.
All right, a random quote. Let's see. Procedure for life. Have fun, enjoy, be loved, and give love.
Have fun, enjoy,
Be loved.
be loved, and
And give
give
love.
love. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Two sides to love, two sides to every
Yes.
kiss.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. And you have to be. You know, some of the people I've spoken with
Yeah.
who were very depressed almost didn't seem to understand that you have to give as much as you take.
Absolutely, yeah.
And sometimes we get depressed giving, and not getting back. That what happens is we stop giving. And then we're yelling because we have nothing to take.
Right.
Well, if you have nothing to give, you're going to have nothing to take. So you have to learn to share. And again,
Reciprocal.
yeah, this breakfast that we went to, that's what it was. These people are givers.
Right.
So they appreciate other givers. And when you give, you get.
Yes, absolutely.
So how long are sessions? I mean, do you stay with people for years or moments?
It depends on the person. It
Yeah, that's
depends,
right.
you know, it's
They
Reiki-
have to feel the gain.
there's always a gain and it's always good. It will never do anything
And
bad
you're not successful until they believe they are.
until they walk out feeling great. But
Feeling
sometimes people just come because it's an amazing feeling. You just
I mean,
feel
it's
good.
like going to the gym.
Yes.
You know, instead of a physical
emotional
workout,
gym.
yeah, you did an emotional workout. And emotional workouts are important.
Yes.
I would say that I cried, really cried, maybe 10 times in my life. And I'd say I needed every one of those cries.
Felt good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when I was
It's a
done,
release.
I felt good.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and
You're unloading, you're unleashing, and
I
that's
tell my students who are writers, any age, I say to them, listen, the one wonderful thing about writing is it enables you to take some of those things that are inside of you
yes.
that are trash, things that have gathered, and they're rotting inside of you. And you need to take out the trash.
Yeah.
And one of the wonderful ways to do that is through writing. What you do through Reiki and through your spiritualism, I try to do through my writing, where I consider myself a bibliotherapist.
Okay.
And that's what my master's degree was in, bibliotherapy.
okay.
And I did a whole paper where I gathered books of all different kinds for people with all kinds of situations.
Right.
And my very first book, Kiss the Candy Days Goodbye, was exactly that. It was for kids with diabetes
Okay.
who felt they were different.
Right.
And they didn't want to be different anymore.
Right.
And I knew I had to convince them that there's nothing wrong with being different. It's what you do with that difference that will
Absolutely,
make
yes.
all of
Yeah,
the difference
yeah.
in the world. And that's it. It's okay to be different, but be a good different.
Right.
Find the positive side of your difference.
Right,
Don't
right.
don't be weird. Be unique.
Be who you are.
Yeah. So tell me more about now. How did you get to do all these quotes? I mean, I love it.
Thank you.
And I'm stealing that book the second you leave. So tell me about these quotes had to come after a time.
Absolutely, yes.
So I'm interested in the writer side of you.
Yeah.
When do you write these? Do you just all of a sudden go, oh my God, you're sitting in the subway and you go, oh,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes, I could be walking my dog. I could be
And a
at
quote
my-
comes and
Yes.
you're like, yes.
Yes.
and you gather it.
Like I said, a situation, somebody I meet, a reflection of somebody I meet, or
Yeah.
a situation that I'm
I
going
like it.
through, or what somebody's going through. But they'll come to me
Yeah.
at night, before bed, during bed, when I'm dreaming. They come to me all the time. They don't
Yeah.
let me know when they're coming, they just come.
Yeah, that's good. Because it's a way of focusing
Yes.
how you feel and its reactions. What you're doing is what I called for years journal writing.
Yeah. Well,
And
I
I
guess-
had my students keep journals. And they said, is it okay to just kind of like write what I feel about something? And I said, that's exactly what you should be
a journal.
doing. And it helps. I did that for a long time. I have books where I would wake up at night or before I go to bed.
Right, right.
And I would write those things like that. You know, I remember one when I was going by a cemetery
Okay.
and here were people gathered around a grave and there was a huge pile of flowers. I mean, this person must have been somebody special because a whole lot of flowers went down that day. And I remember thinking, all those flowers died just because that person did. You know, and I said, wow, that's pretty weird. I'm worried about the flowers instead of the person. But it is a thought, and it's something
Yeah.
that we need sometimes to stop and think. That's why writers are people watchers. Real writers
Yes.
walk around observing all the time. They're observers. And you observe people's emotions
Yes.
and feelings. And after you observe them, you have advice for them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it comes through.
Before we end, another quote.
Okay.
I like this quote.
Me too.
Yeah.
It takes brains to know what you don't want. It takes passion to know what you do want.
Wow. It takes brains to know what you don't want, and it takes passion to know what you do want.
Yeah.
I like that. Another, you know what another favorite quote of mine is? Stop worrying about what you want.
Right.
Focus on wanting what you have.
Yes.
And that's the thing. So many people are so busy reaching for something
Yeah.
else that they forget what they
What's
already
right here.
have.
Yes, a
You
lot
know,
of us
they're
do.
worried about the bigger house, and there's someone out there who would give anything in the world to have the house
To
they
have the
already
house.
have.
Yeah,
Just to have a house.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know,
I know.
and we forget sometimes
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the most important things in our lives
It's what's already there. Appreciation,
already there,
gratitude.
to appreciate what we already have.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
you know, there's people who fear waking up because they don't know what they're going to face. And they don't realize that waking up is already a goal for so many
Well,
people, to be
yeah,
able to wake
yeah.
up and to face a new day.
Yes.
So you help people live.
I certainly hope so. I hope to just inspire people. And
Yep.
like you said, if somebody's having a bad day or a bad week and
Yep.
they wake up and see my quote and my photographs,
Yeah.
I hope that it helps them.
People say to me, how many people read your books? And I say, I don't know. And I don't care.
Right.
If one reads it and says,
That
my
was-
life has changed because of that book,
That's all that
that's it.
matters.
Save the world one soul at a time.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do. You know, I love the fact that you're not out to save the world. I love the fact that you have an interest in others.
Yeah.
You feel the passion, the need to connect. And it's kinetic.
Yeah.
You have that sense of touch because we are one.
Yes.
in energy, I can get into a whole thing on the idea of death.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And the idea of the body can die, but does your energy die?
No.
Does your soul die?
No.
We know from years and years ago in the Bible.
Yeah.
We've
We
been
go
told
on.
the soul does not die,
No.
the body dies. And so what is that? And it is energy. And you're working with living energy.
Yes.
Well, I love talking to you. I love
Thank
what
you.
you say. I
Thank
love
you.
what you do. I love the feel of your vibes. Now,
Yes.
tell them. What do they need to know, Amy?
Well, if you want to find out more about Reiki, what I do, look at my Facebook page, Amy Kaufman. Amy Axelrod Kaufman. I do my quotes every day. You can be inspired, and check out my website, amykaufman.co. Thank you.
And look at those quotes and understand.
Feel
Find
inspired.
the quote. Yes, find the quote
That speaks
that
to you.
speaks to you.
Absolutely.
I love it. One more quote. We have 1 minute.
Okay, here we go. One more quote. Make it a good one.
Here is our closing quote, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready.
If you don't know if you don't know, take the time to listen and to hear what is being said.
If you don't know, take the time to listen and hear what is being said. You don't always have to change from the things that other people say, but you do owe it to yourself to hear them.
Absolutely, yes.
Listen.
Listen, so important.
And thank you for listening to us. Thank you for listening to Amy. Amy, thank you for reaching out to people, helping them to understand that we are not alone.
Nope.
When things are down, look up.
Thank you for having
Amy,
me.
thank you.